o'clock in California. So.
Is that what it is? All right.
Yeah, it's 9 here, so it's 6 o'clock on the West Coast. So people, some people might be awake.
Yeah, I know. We are live now, so we're gonna get started.
It's 9 here, so
whoa. That was my Bluetooth. It's Friday night, everybody.
My voice.
Here we go. See, it's Friday night with Raquel. All right, there we go.
I am a mess.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. You're live. Everybody knows you. You're the rock star. You're the movie star.
Thanks. But these do get recorded, right?
Now it is. It's going. All right. Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Dave Wilson of Results Staffing, and everybody knows one of my favorite guests here, Raquel Borras, True to Your Branding in Leesburg, Virginia, wherever the hell that is. And she's drinking wine.
In Northern Virginia. I'm like 45 minutes west of Washington, D.C. Like, don't get it twisted. It's not that crazy. Oh, look. Dave Wilson just went live.
I just went live. Yeah, I'm not even looking at the comments. All right. Well, the reason I wanted to have Miss Raquel on tonight is because I'm just going to everybody knows me. I'm going to stay calm. The veins in the neck will stay calm.
Are you kidding? Like, we just talked for an hour before this and you're still not calm?
No.
Wow.
No.
We need to.
We're going to do some venting, and I'm learning from all the experts how to do live and calm. All right. Okay. So
I'm not an expert in live, so I can't tell you that, but.
All right. But this is the news. So, all right, I'm going to ask you some good questions.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot back at you. Okay. All right. Cool. First of all, I want to ask you about your last posting. Was that real office space for the female entrepreneurs?
Yeah, obviously that was a professional picture taken because I couldn't find any ones that I had taken, but Isn't it awesome? And that just shows you like the common area. There are 3 other rooms. There's one like for makeup artists. So there's like the ring light and a mirror and a cool couch. And then there's another room that has like a bigger table that you can kind of like a little conference. And then there's another room where you could actually podcast. They have podcast equipment in there.
And you can rent they have something like that in Bethlehem. So you can rent an office space, right?
Well, it's all common space. So there's no actual, how some co-working spaces you have like little cubicle type things.
Right.
Here it's just open space.
You move your hands a lot while you're talking.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I do it all the time.
It's the Latina in me.
I'm watching. You're like, phew.
It's just how I express myself.
Okay. Hey, Vic, how you doing? That's okay. Just make it cool.
But yeah, so anyways, it's actually called a wedding loft because the woman who started it and owns it, she wanted it like a safe space for all women that are in the industry, makeup artists, florists, photographers. And so she started it for the wedding industry, but then she was like, how cool would it be just to have like female entrepreneurs, small business owners be a part of it? So it's really not that expensive. And then you have access to all of it. And it's really cool because it's in downtown Leesburg with like right across the street from a little coffee shop, right next to a brewery, from a restaurant, and I can walk there. So it's just so cool. And all the women, they're just like me, where we're all have our own businesses. So I've like literally have asked them 10 million questions like, hey, how do you invoice this person? Or what do you do to track that? Or do you have a contract a template I can borrow? So I'm always asking questions. And this person said, what exactly are you all talking about? Branding and
Lori, she's awesome. And you also, this is, gentlemen, I'm going to introduce Vikram Seth. He's the CFO of the video resumes that we're going to be talking about.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we all know social media. What is your favorite platform for the branding that you do for companies for social media? What is your favorite platform, if you had to say?
This might shock people. LinkedIn. They're looking at me with a baseball cap, a sweatshirt, and they're like, yeah, LinkedIn.
Take me back 6 months ago or a year ago.
Well, I've been on LinkedIn since 2014. But a year ago is kind of when everything took a shift. Right. And that's because I started becoming vulnerable. I was pretty transparent about just who I was as a person. And I just really started opening up on this platform in a way where I was able to really connect with my network.
Right.
And it was amazing. Like, that's really when I said, oh my gosh, like, people want to see who you are. Like, yes, this might be a business platform, but remember, there's people behind the business.
Right. So
Right?
you actually take me back then. So a company calls you.
Yeah. Well, at the time, a year ago, I was working for a company. I wasn't on my own yet. I was working for a company as their brand manager / social media manager. So it was my job to be on social media, but I was able to do it in a way where I was essentially their brand ambassador and the face of their company. But at the same time, I was balancing it out with my personal stuff. Like, so I naturally started creating a personal brand without even being aware of what that meant. Like, here I was totally doing it unintentionally.
Right. And then that's why I've learned to watch you on there, what you've done, because what I do with the staffing is kind of what you do with the companies. It's the same thing. I'm trying to brand them and you're branding the company. Well, that did shock me. What do you think about like TikTok, Twitter?
Dude, I'm 44 years old. Like, what the heck am I going to be doing on TikTok? Listen, I understand, because that's where like all your future consumers are, or your, consumers now. My daughter, who's 16, my son that's 19, they're on TikTok all day long, especially my daughter. And my daughter and I did a video about this, and we put it on LinkedIn about marketing on TikTok, because that's where the eyeballs are, right?
Right.
But it's funny, during this pandemic, a lot of my friends who are mothers who have like sworn against TikTok, they're all on TikTok now, because they were so bored and their kids were on it that they jumped on the whole TikTok bandwagon. And now I go on my Instagram feed and it's all my girlfriends that are mothers in their 40s doing videos. And I'm like, yeah, I still can't do it. Sorry. Like, my kids would be mortified. I tried. I do have an account. I technically am, but I did 1 or 2 videos and I was like, yeah, you know what? This doesn't feel right for me. So why am I going to be on a platform that's very uncomfortable for me?
Right. All right. The next question, why I have Vic again, Bickham, he's the CFO for Video Resume.
Okay.
So Vic, I do have a success story for you again. Joanne, I don't know why I'm looking at my laptop like I'm looking at his name, but we had a young lady, Joanne, and her husband is about ready to retire. He's handicapped, former Marine, and he's having a hard time finding a job. Okay. So we did a show and Vic was on last night, The Power of Video, with the video resume. So I meet with her tomorrow. Tell me in your words why the video is so much more powerful now, whether it's a video resume or for branding of a company, just like I'm trying to help this young lady with her husband find work. Because when she said to me, Dave, he's a hard worker. He gets turned down because I think it's his age. He has some health issues, but he's a former Marine and he works hard. So what I like to be able to do with him now is to get that message of him in front of an employer.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the power of the video?
I think it's huge as far as resumes, because first of all, it's different, right? Like, I have yet to see a video resume. And secondly, I have never gotten a job because I've sent my resume blindly to somebody. It's because I was in front of them and they got to see my personality and got to feel my energy and just kind of get a feel for who I was as a person. And let me tell you, on paper, it sucks. Like, my experience, really, like, I don't have very much experience, to be honest, but I don't care, because I know if you can get me in front of that person, so I'll get the job. And every job that I've ever gotten has been because someone knew me and said, hey, interview her. And then as soon as I got on the interview, it was a done deal. So there is a huge power in that, because yeah, I mean, a lot of people on paper, they don't sound very good. And it's unfortunate, because most people will look at that and be like, yeah, you know what? They don't have the experience. But I think at least also it's taking a shift in the sense that people are realizing, like, hey, it's all about character, integrity, working, are you a team player? All those things. Now people realize that the soft skills are essentially more important than the hard skills. And so that's why I think video resumes are awesome. I'd kill it if I were on a video.
And let's see, I submitted my candidate with video today to one of our client in Dallas at 3 p.m. And now we have the interview request. See, that's why when we're working with Vic, he's a great person to work with because the software is nice. I told you. Oh, he's going to reach out to you.
Please do, Vic. I'm sorry I don't look very professional right now, but it is a Friday night.
Yes. And Vic, let me tell you, she's been all over social media since, I'm not going to say since I was born. You were always ahead of me. We do two different things. So the next one is all right. We've done the power. Yeah. How does somebody practice if with the video resumes? I get a lot of candidates. I don't like doing videos. Well, I don't look good on videos, or I don't sound good on videos.
I know. Believe me.
What do you tell people? What would you tell them?
I tell people, and once again, I'm telling you, this whole pandemic and this, COVID-19, I know it's horrible and a lot of people have suffered and there's a lot of tragedy, but at the same time, so much opportunity and it's changing the way we see things. And in a different way, in a much better way, I believe. Right. So for instance, with video, everyone initially thinks, oh, you got to have this huge video production, the lighting, you have to have all this good, crazy equipment. You have to be all polished. Women need to be all makeup and everything. Hello, I'm sitting here on a LinkedIn Live with you in my condo, in my baseball cap, in my sweatpants, and I do my videos like that too, and you've seen them. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you look like and all the production. It's what you have to say and how you're conveying it. And so when I meant saying that like right now it's like the best time, is because everybody is forced to be on a Zoom call. Everyone's from their home usually. Like, so for instance, people like CEOs, or maybe Vic will appreciate that, a CFO who maybe when people saw them at the office, they were all done up. They had this persona, like I'm part of the C-suite team. And so I have to have a certain perception or whatever. Well, now they're being forced to be in their homes for, let's say, and they're getting on their camera and they're doing, an office meeting or a team meeting. And then suddenly the dog starts running in the back, or the kids start screaming, or the wife is like, hey, David, can you get me to this and that? And so automatically, I think people now are gotten used to this kind of imperfection and gotten to this way where people are like super vulnerable because of that. So I think it's changing the way people are going to do video. So if anything, who gives a crap like what you look like or what's going on? Right. Because
and that's what I mean. That's why I'm excited with Joanne when, and she's saying her husband, can I help her? We did a show last night and I'm so glad. I can't wait. He's willing to do a video resume. So I feel like when he says I'm a former Marine, he's been in Vietnam, you know what I mean? Just of being in the military, people like that.
And not only that, like you connect with that person emotionally. Like, the difference between me reading it on a piece of paper, but hearing someone say, I'm an ex-Marine, I was, this and that, you're like, whoa, oh my gosh. And so it's just an automatic connection. And that's huge because, for someone to connect with another person, it's pretty powerful.
It is. And that's why I'm excited, especially when they say, can you help me? And Joanne, I'm looking forward to it. It's at, wait a minute here, 9 a.m. I'm going to be with her in case she's watching there. Okay. What was my next one?
I can have another glass of wine.
No.
She should have her girl Lori's like when she wants me to, get all fired up over here.
Lori's a trip. I know Lori. She's another staffing person, Lori. Why do I look at the thread? I look at the thread like I'm talking to.
I don't know. And then I'm looking to the right of me. Obviously, she doesn't care. I don't. Sorry.
This next question is why I get so worked up. I came from logistics, high volume recruiting, social media. You get that adrenaline going, and then all of a sudden you come down to professional services, and it's like, whoa,
let's kill.
It is. If you were to say, can you imagine if you took the companies around here and took $1,000, let's just say $1,000, what you could get for amount of employees for $1,000 if you know what you're doing. Can you imagine?
No.
What?
Sorry.
Oh, no, like the price, like.
No, I'm just laughing because it was trash day today, and I can hear people taking the recycling in their trash bins, and I thought, oh shit, I forgot to take my recycling bin. But no, there's a lot that could be done with that $1,000.
Yeah, because the amount to get it out there, get your message out. But now, do you share a lot of your videos? What do you do to get your videos everywhere?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned before, LinkedIn is my platform. And so I just put my videos out there. I tell people too, just like you said with $1,000, I didn't put any money into my marketing. Like my LinkedIn profile, I have the standard basic profile. Like I don't have a premium account.
Right.
So for me, I spent $0 in branding and marketing myself. So that just goes to show you that it can be done, right, for a very low amount of money if you know how to do it right. I mean, obviously there's ways that, there's not essentially protocols, but you just have to be smart about it, right? Because a lot of people too don't realize how important consistency is, how important it is to be patient, because I think a lot of people, they envision social media and they think, oh, if I just put out like a really cool video, it's going to go viral and I'm going to be all set. No, it doesn't work that way. Someone might be lucky enough to have that one video that goes viral and then everyone knows who they are, but it doesn't work that way. Just like you were saying that you're going on live very consistently, like almost every night, but it's great because you're putting yourself there in a way where people are starting to feel like they know you. Like I've never met you, but I think you're like a big deal because you have a LinkedIn Live. First of all, you're always putting yourself out there. You know what I mean? So like, remember, perception is reality. So, the way I am perceiving you is the way other people's I can't even speak. People are perceiving you. And you know what I mean? Like you got to remember that. So you might think like, oh gosh, I'm just David Wilson, but the way you're putting yourself out there, it's different.
It's nice. And Vic, I got to tell you a story about, Raquel. So when she does branding for companies, I'll never forget this one. This is my favorite. So you were in the dental office, Vic. She was in the dentist's office. I see this video of, the patient was sitting on the chair and
I was going in, like I was going in with the tool.
Stands back up and it's you. But what you were doing, and that was the dentist herself. So it was so cool to what you did for that company because that was just, I'd never seen that before.
But that's the whole point, is to be different. So like even me, I'm super unconventional. I mean, I'm sitting here with a baseball cap in my sweatpants and I'm okay with it because that's who I am. Right. But that's why I stand out, because not many people are comfortable enough just being who they are in front of the camera. And so I use that for my advantage. And so I tell people all the time, like, that's the keys. You got to stand out in some way. I mean, dentists, they all, everyone thinks that they're scary and they're literally, the dentist, nobody wants to go. No one thinks of the dentist as being fun. So that's why we're like, let's go ahead and totally like do the opposite of what a dentist would be, and let's make it fun. And
she did.
And people noticed, and I loved it because everyone was reaching out to her like, who is that person you're doing videos with? And like, oh my gosh, like, who are you? Who did you hire? Because what you're doing is completely like going against the grain. But hello, people are paying attention,
No. All right. Last question of the night.
Okay.
Here we go. Now that you have me confused.
Okay.
I got everything done. I'm doing pretty good. Workforce, my platform. So close. Personality. Hold on.
I know, because we had an hour conversation before this.
And I want to make sure I got one more in here with you. Okay. During times I talked to you, let's just say you have 10 companies right outside the door here, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them don't have good images. You know, like if I said to someone, hey, you want to work here? They're like, oh, hell no, 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 you know, because of something might have happened, you know, and you might have one good company over here that everybody loves.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think with everything going on now, it's kind of like a new, I keep saying new workforce. Can someone like yourself on social media change a brand? Can it help rebranding by what you do on social media and LinkedIn? Do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's why people talk about that you can rebrand, right? That, I mean, if you think about like celebrities or musicians like a Madonna or Lady Gaga, where they're, you know, constantly reinventing themselves, like adapting with the times, it's the same thing with a company. I mean, you see a lot of companies where they rebrand their logo, like a Coca-Cola, a Starbucks, an Apple. Like, you know, a lot of them started out with a certain logo, and then over time it changed, and over time just their message has changed a little bit too. Obviously, you want your message to be true to how it started, the why,
Right.
right? But as far as, you know, everything's changing. So even with everything going on today, all these industries and businesses are going out back into the world, but it changed forever. You know what I
That,
mean? Like the way people are doing business is different now. So you have to, your brand and your message has to align with what's, you know, with what's going on. I mean, even if you look at a lot of these commercials, I love that so many companies and brands realize that everyone's at home. So I've seen a commercial of like Oreo's commercial did a bunch of like really fun videos of people that they took from home, and they probably
right.
got them off of social media, and it was their way of like, you know, figuring out how to have fun. And so Oreo Cookie was like, hey, we acknowledge that you're at home, so have fun with it, but have your Oreos too. And
Yeah.
there were just so many other companies that realized like, okay, now our marketing is going to totally shift and change. And so yeah, I feel like it's the same thing.
Because what
That
I tell them all the time is like, I've talked to so many guests, and it's not all about the money. When I talk to employees, they're saying, well, I want to know if it's safe. So what I try to tell some of the corporations, and I try to send my videos, is show a short video of what you do, maybe inside. Show them how you're social distancing in the warehouse. Show them how you're keeping people scanning temperatures. Show them on the break area how they're doing extra cleanings now.
yeah.
Because when I did that, I was so shocked that nobody brought up money. Nobody said, well, if you pay me $3 more an hour. But a lot of them did say if they had strong protocols. And the pushback I get sometimes is, well, security wise. And I don't mean that by let's take a video and walk around, but like I've seen you done before, you just do short little things and make one video
Yeah.
and show it. And I guarantee that if some of the employees would see this, candidates, they'd be like, wow, look what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. You
Because,
don't know.
I mean, once again, you know, company culture is huge, and that's going to be even bigger now too, because so many people have gotten used to working at home and have
Right.
gotten used to that. So for them to go back to work, they're going to have to change that culture too, as
Right.
well, because so many people don't want to go back to the office at
That's
all. You know what I mean? Because they really started getting acclimated to a different lifestyle. So I do feel like that a lot of companies, you know, even with the co-working spaces, and because now, you know, people can't really be in close proximity. So even
right.
all of, even just, yeah, the architecture of how everything's going to be built out. Yeah. So that's the thing, is that I think just everything's changing. And once again, you have to just be able to learn to adapt. If not, you're going to be left behind.
Behind.
You
All
know?
right. Well, I want to thank you so much. And I know.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm not drunk, by the way. I'm like this sober. Sorry. Like I'm kind of a goofball, just without drinking alcohol. I'm actually quieter when I'm drunk because I get self-conscious. So. You're reading? Did you freeze?